slow to fast, depending on the level.
Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order, council meeting for May 27th, 2026. This meeting was advertised pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 through 10:4-21. Adequate notice was placed in the official publications for the Township of Monroe, i.e. the South Jersey Times, Courier Post, and the Sentinel of Gloucester County. A copy of that notice is placed on the bulletin board at the municipal complex. Please note the clerk has placed a sign-in sheet at the rear of the courtroom. If anyone would like to address council during public portion, please sign in and raise your hand, and I will ask you to come forward to the microphone. Please kindly state your name and the town in which you live in for the record. In addition, please note that this meeting is currently live streaming on the Township's YouTube channel in accordance with Ordinance 056-2024. A link for the copy of this recording will also be posted on the Township's website for the public to view at their convenience. Please all rise for salute to the flag and remain standing for the invocation. Councilman Heberly.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we gather here today as the leadership of Monroe Township, we pray that we are ever mindful of the responsibility we have to render service to our fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas, and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. Let us strive to continue to make Monroe Township a successful community and lead with truthfulness, trust, and good character for the residents of Monroe Township. Amen.
Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Adams?
Here.
Mr. Cope?
Here.
Mrs. Fox? Here. Mr. Heberly?
Here.
Council Vice President, Mr. O'Reilly?
Here.
Mr. Rossi?
Here.
Mr. Valentine?
Here.
Mayor Wolf?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Kurz?
Here.
Solicitor, Mr. Sorecki?
Here.
Business Administrator, Mr. Dehart?
Here.
Director of Code Enforcement, Mr. Sebastian? Was he? Okay.
Madam
Director-
Clerk, Mr. Sebastian was here. He had to leave. I have his report for the end of the evening. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you. Director of Community Affairs, Mrs. Park, is excused. Director of Parks and Recreation, Mr. Bruno, is excused. Director of Public Safety, Mr. Rumpf.
Here.
Director of Public Works, Mr. Dilks.
Here.
Director of Real Estate, Ms. Posadzki.
Here.
Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Boyer, is excused. Police Chief McBride.
Here.
And myself, Municipal Clerk Eileen Chiselko.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to begin tonight's meeting honoring the Williamstown High School girls flag football team. After the mayor and I step up, we will take a short recess to allow pictures to be taken with family and friends, and then we will begin the meeting again. Mayor?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It's great to see some ladies back there who accomplished a tremendous thing. Second year. If you would all like to come up with your coaches, Coach Jamie Land and Coach Karen Dillmore. Good evening. You brought the hardware with you. Love it. Well, welcome to you all and congratulations. Tonight, we'd like to present a proclamation to the Williamstown High School girls flag football state champions for 2026. It reads, Coach Karen, where's she at? Second year, right? Second-year program for the Williamstown High School, the girls flag football team. And I remember we were together one night when you first found out you were going to begin coaching the girls flag football, and you were pretty excited. And here we are, right? So the proclamation states, whereas the Williamstown High School girls flag football team has achieved an extraordinary milestone by capturing the state championship, completing a remarkable season with an outstanding record of 16-1, coached by Jamie Land and Karen Dillmore. And whereas these dedicated student athletes have demonstrated exceptional skill, teamwork, perseverance, and sportsmanship, proudly representing Monroe Township Public Schools and the whole Braves community. As this is the second year participating in high school flag football, and whereas the continued success of the girls flag football program reflects its historic growth and excellence, including recognition at the inaugural All-South Jersey Touchdown Club banquet in 2025, where Coach Jamie Land was honored of Coach of the Year, and whereas this season further cemented the program's legacy and excellence with Harper Carney, Milana Riccardi, Shayna Demarest, earning induction into the All-South Jersey recognition, highlighting the elite level of talent and commitment within the program. And whereas the achievements of this team have inspired the school community, elevated opportunities for female athletes, and contributed to the continued growth of girls flags football across the region. Now therefore, be it proclaimed that the mayor and council of the Township of Monroe, on behalf of all of our citizens, do hereby extend their congratulations to the Williamstown High School girls flag football team for their historic state championship season, their dedication to excellence, and their role as the trailblazers in advancing girls athletics. Presented this 27th day of May 2026, signed by myself as Mayor Greg Wolf, our Council President, Councilwoman Denise Adams, Council Vice President Patrick O'Reilly, Councilman Brian Cope, Councilwoman Carol Ann Fox, Councilman Don Heverly, Councilman Al Rossi, and Councilman John Valentine. Ladies, it is an honor and privilege to present you with this proclamation. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great things for Monroe Township. Thank you. Speak.
Oh, man, I wasn't ready for this. Well, thank you, everybody, first of all. I'm so proud of every girl that you see here has helped us in every victory that we had this year. Oh, Lord. Thank you for the parents for your constant support, and I really had the best time coaching this year. Thanks for my assistant, Karen Dillmore, over there. And girls, I really, truly do love each and every one of you. I think you guys are great kids, and let's get another one next year.
How about that Braves?
Go Braves.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
If you girls want to stay there, parents want to come up, take pictures.
Well, we're now, anyway. Let them get their day, right?
Should expand it and get all the parents in there.
Totally blocked. Well, now I'll be running out the back of the picture.
Yes, he does. He left his update with Greg. Here's Jimmy. Jimmy Hunt. Now Jimmy lies. Antonio's beautiful.
I met her from Smash. He's a met her. The question is, they met a bunch of Eagles. Go find out what Eagles they met. Yeah, right. We got it down there. How are you? Good.
This is from Bill.
Let me just roll this mic right away.
Okay, moving along, we have matters for discussion. Is there anyone on council that they have any matters they'd like to discuss this evening?
Yes, I do. I have a matter for discussion. It's been brought to my attention, I've been called a convicted felon and been to prison, which none of it's true. I have a concealed carry permit, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and I'll read a letter that was served to Mayor Wolf. It was served to him here on Virginia Avenue. I won't give his home address. It says, "Dear Mr. Mayor Wolf, please be advised that I represent the interest of John Valentine. It has recently come to our attention that you have made several defamatory false statements regarding Mr. Valentine's alleged criminal record and conviction. Kindly note, Mr. Valentine has no criminal record. Therefore, I kindly request that you cease and desist from making these defamatory statements. You have made these statements in front of numerous parties, which we have witness statements. I thank you for consideration in this matter, and I'm going to give this to Eileen to mark into the record. And that is all.
Okay. Is there anyone else that has anything they'd like to discuss this evening?
Yeah, the allegations are just ludicrous and false. That's all I'll say.
Moving on, we have questions regarding resolutions scheduled for this evening. Does anyone have any questions regarding resolutions?
Yeah, Resolution 207, 2026.
We've pulled it, John. We've pulled
Like to
it.
table it? Okay.
Yes. It's been pulled for administrative corrections.
Yes. And that would be it.
Okay. Anyone else have questions regarding resolutions scheduled for this evening? Seeing none, any questions regarding ordinances scheduled for this evening?
Council President, it's not a question, but just a statement that, obviously Sandra is not here this evening. We congratulate her with having the birth of her new son, but she did want me to mention that she is working on the ordinance regarding the detention centers, along with several other ones. I know that we're talking about that, but I did want to get that on the record, that detention center is forthcoming, hopefully at the next ordinance meeting, along with some other ones.
Okay.
Don?
Yes.
Under ordinances, the ordinance that I introduced where an elected or appointed official, husband, wife,
Yeah,
son, or daughter cannot do any business with the township?
Yeah.
Where are we at with that?
She has your ordinance, and I know we talked about that at the last meeting. The last I spoke with her, she's emailed you twice and reached out. And she
Yeah, I
was
sent her
supposed
the Word doc over, that's what she needed.
No, she wants to sit down to discuss with you that
We
ordinance to
can do
go
it
over.
by, well, we can do it by email on the record, so I don't want to do no phone calls. We can do it back and forth on the record.
You cannot talk to the town solicitor all you want. She's waiting for you to reach out to her, and you can let her know that.
I did by email, and I did not get a return email.
Noted.
Okay. Anyone else have questions regarding ordinances scheduled for this evening? Seeing none, moving on to approval of minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of council meeting for the date of February 11th, 2026, and then closed executive session for the date also of February 11th, 2026?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Correspondence. We have correspondence for Myers RV of Williamstown, 980 North Black Horse Pike. Eileen, is all the paperwork in order?
Yes, the zoning officer and planning board has recommended issuance, and all paperwork is in order.
Okay.
Eileen,
Sure.
this is Whitehorse, right? This is just DBA?
I'm sorry, I don't...
Is this Whitehorse?
It's, I don't know the previous, no, it's Mayor's RV. What,
Myers.
Myers.
Well, when I pull up the address, it actually is Whitehorse RV. So I didn't know if it was a DBA or,
Yeah, the paperwork didn't say Whitehorse.
okay.
I'm not sure.
I mean, just a question, I'm fine if the paperwork's in order.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next, we have amusement licenses, multiple licenses. Eileen, do we have all the paperwork in order for these licenses?
Yes, all paperwork is in order, and I do recommend issuance of the licenses.
Okay. We have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
Madam
carries.
President, just going back to Councilman O'Reilly's concern, Myers RV, that's at the same location of Whitehorse, so I'm assuming they changed the name or sold.
They changed their name, you think?
I don't know. So it's either a change in name or they sold, but it's at the same location.
Yeah, it is the same location. Okay.
Potentially doing business as, is that
Well,
your
that's what
question?
that was kind of my question, because that's a family run for years, so.
Maybe they're the Myers. May I have a motion to open public portion for resolutions scheduled for this evening?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Is there anyone wishing to speak on resolutions scheduled for this evening? This is for resolutions. Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the public portion for resolutions?
Motion close.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. May I have a motion to bracket resolutions R-203-2026 through R-213-2026?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I have a motion to approve resolutions R-203-2026 through R-213-2026?
Motion.
Just, Madam President, just with the removal of 207.
With the yes, with the removal of 207, thank you,
Thank you.
Mayor.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Madam Clerk, I recuse myself from 203, please.
Thank you.
I now turn this portion of the meeting over to Ordinance Chair, Councilman Everly.
Thank you, President Adams. Just one ordinance this evening, ordinance 27-2026, an ordinance of the Township of Monroe, County of Gloucester, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 175, Land Use and Development of the Township Code to establish a large-scale structure setback required and to create an additional buffering standards between intensive non-residential uses, residential, institutional, and recreational uses. This is for first reading and publication. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I now turn this portion of the meeting back over to President Adams.
Thank you. Is there anyone on council that has any new business they'd like to discuss this evening? Seeing none, is there anyone on council who has any unfinished business they'd like to discuss this evening?
Yes, I would. Joe, I have a question about the greens. I wasn't here last council meeting. The council meeting before that, they did an inspection on the wet basin about the PVC liner. Yeah. And you didn't have it with you knowing that you were coming here. So I'm going to ask you now, do you have that report, and how did that liner show out? And why is that basin leaking in the greens?
We haven't resolved why it's leaking, but we were able to receive photos of the installation from Panoni, the previous engineer. It was installed in 3 layers. It looked like they had like a woven geotextile first, and then the PVC liner, and then another woven geotextile on top. So that's why we were having a conversation about how it looked like a weed barrier, I believe 2 meetings ago. That would make sense because that top layer is a woven fabric to help protect the PVC liner underneath of it.
So where are we at with it leaking, losing water?
We still don't have a resolution to that. We're working with the developer if they need to investigate the basin and come up with a reason why it's leaking. But I have eliminated that the PVC liner was not installed.
Now, the dry basin that's wet with 3 foot of water in it for the last 2.5 years, where are we with that one?
The contractor indicated he'll be in town, I believe, on June 14th, sometime mid-June, to begin work to finalize those basins. That basin that's holding water you're referring to, I believe I discussed before, is the sediment basin, so it's all clogged up with silt. So when they come in, they're going to dewater that basin, remove all the silt, and install the required sand layer.
So why are we waiting for them to come in? Why are we not forcing them? These residents been dealing with that for 2.5 years.
So the way the bonding works, if they show like a gross non-responsiveness to have the work completed, then we could pull their bond. But they provided a written schedule to us that says they're going to be here mid-June to start that work. If they're not here mid-June, we are going to send them a letter and initiate the process to pull the bond.
I think the people need a little better protection than what they're getting, because this is 2.5 years. These residents have to look at that and deal with it. Now, summer's coming, they got to deal with all the mosquitoes and everything else. I understand we're going to spray for them, but it's still going to be a problem for them. And they're all elderly, and it causes health risks for them.
I understand.
Okay. And then I have one more. The Kearns had concerns about 241 East Piney Hollow Road, A&A Towing. Sebastian ain't here, so I don't know if we can get the report from him. Or Jim, do you have anything on that?
I have not talked to him about the update on that. I do know that they were addressing it after, not the last meeting, the meeting before that, but I didn't follow up with him to see where that was. I haven't gotten any complaints up in my office to know that if anything was sent out, that there was challenged, but I can follow up on that and get you an answer.
Because if you look at, you can even look at the pictures that they gave us. It looks like, to me, I counted maybe 21, 22 containers, shipping containers, storage containers. Their permit only calls for 12. And they're smelting or whatever they're doing over it. And I called the DEP myself, and their air permit ran out in 2020. So my whole concern is, they passed the inspection to be on the tow list. How did that happen if they're still in violation?
Again, I'm not part of the inspection process. Sandra reviews those reports, our solicitor. The PD does the reports. I don't know what that part was then when it was inspected.
Well, it's just a concern for me, because his last name here says Stolba, and I remembered the young Kearns girl up here talking about Stolba, about the Hopkins farm, and then we had a smart remark from the mayor condescending of Stolba's piece. So I'm trying to find out what's exactly going on here.
Well, I know if you talk to Ms. Kearns, she'll tell you that I've been communicating with her regularly about some of the other concerns that she had, and we are taking steps to fix everything that we can. I was not aware that there was going to be a question about it. Again, I don't talk to every department head before every council meeting to find out every issue that's pending to be able to report on that. If I'd have had a heads up, I could have absolutely spoken to the zoning department prior to today, but I didn't get any heads up to ask for any specific topic.
Yeah, I thought I seen Sebastian here earlier.
He was. He's got it, just like you last month. You were sick. So he has medical stuff that he's taking care of with his family. So I think the fact that he showed up to give his report, I think he went above and beyond, and to be able to go home.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Yep.
That's it.
Anyone else with unfinished business they'd like to discuss this evening? Seeing none, moving on to reports. Eileen?
Mayor Wolf?
Yes, thank you. Good evening. Thursday, April 23rd, was Take Your Child to Work Day. The children had a very enjoyable day learning about each department that we have here in Monroe Township, and learning a little bit about what mom and dad do each day while at work. Great job by our HR department putting this together and putting it on each year. Saturday, April 25th, we hosted the Autism Awareness Day at our Pfeiffer Community Center. Although it wasn't the greatest of weather, we were able to get through that event. This event continues to grow each year. The participants were able to see the progress that we've been making on the Finn's Friends Park, which will be the first all-inclusive park in Gloucester County, which is nearing completion. We'll be hosting a ribbon cutting out there in just a few short weeks. The park looks fantastic if you haven't seen it, but again, it's almost completed, so more to come on that. Saturday, May 2nd, we hosted our shred event. I was able to stop out at the Public Works Department during that event. It was nonstop vehicles pulling into the Public Works Department there. The ladies put me right to work, emptying vehicles with papers that needed to be shredded. They actually filled an entire truck that morning. That's how busy these events are. So thanks to those workers for putting that event on. Thursday, May 7th, I attended the Flags for Forgotten Soldiers ceremony. Several hundred flags are placed at our property located at Bluebell and Corkery Lane, the EMS center there. This is to bring awareness to a very serious issue. The men and women of the United States military who may be dealing with some mental health issues and committing suicide at an alarming rate. The hope is that this type of awareness will bring the awareness to this issue, and you know, we can get involved early. When we see something, we can help those veterans that are struggling before it's too late. We need to continue to bring this awareness to this issue so we could start to see a decrease in these numbers. Great job by Christine Scola, our HR department, and Deb Bender from Public Works, both who were instrumental in bringing this program here just a few years ago. Saturday, May 9th, we hosted the Springs Arts and Crafts Festival, which was a packed house on Main Street. I think almost 300 vendors were there. Again, this event seems to grow each year. It was a little windy for the vendors, but no rain. For the most part, the weather was great for the event. Great job by Community Affairs, led by our director, Donna Park, but also the supervisor out there, Brandy Dario, and her crew. Also, that same day, we hosted our Clean Communities event, where we had 300 volunteers cleaning various locations throughout the township. These volunteer groups receive a donation from our Clean Communities funding. So it's a great program for nonprofit groups to raise money and give back to the community at the same time by cleaning trash up throughout the community. Great job by, again, our employees, Tiffany Carney and Deb Bender, who run that program each and every year. Saturday, May 16th, we hosted the Walk for Wellness. This is the first year for this event, and we had an overwhelming turnout. This raises awareness for those who struggle with mental health. Again, we had many vendors there to assist individuals or their families who may need some services. Again, this is an awareness event. Great job, again, by our Community Affairs Department for putting that together. Sunday, May 24th, I attended the Gloucester County Memorial Day service hosted at the Veterans Cemetery right here in Monroe Township. It's a beautiful cemetery for our veterans in Gloucester County. It's always great to attend these events and reflect on what Memorial Day really is about. It's a day to show honor and respect and remembrance to all the men and women of the United States military who paid that ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives for us to enjoy, you know, each and every freedom as we have as Americans. Also, May 25th, our annual Memorial Day Parade had to be canceled due to the weather. This is in coordination between Community Affairs and the American Legion, but we still had a ceremony at the American Legion Post. The ceremony was a standing room only. Members of the American Legion obviously were in attendance. Members of the VFW, the Boy Scouts of America, our Monroe Township Police Department, Chief McBride, thank you for your attendance. Our Community Affairs Department, they were all in attendance. Riley Sheehan performed and sung our national anthem. I also want to thank Deputy Mayor Kurz for attending, along as well as Councilman Heverly, Councilman Brian Cope, and Councilman Al Rossi. It means a lot to the veterans, you know, showing your presence, so thank you. I also had 14 other meetings that I attended. I officiated 3 weddings and attended 2 Gloucester County Mayor's Association meetings since my last report. That will conclude my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Kurz?
On May 7th, I also attended the Flags for Forgotten Soldiers event. And on Memorial Day, as the mayor stated, I was also president of the American Legion Hall. And as the Williamstown Firehouse is nearing completion, we will be shortly scheduling a walkthrough for the council to see the building before the fire company. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Solicitor Mr. Savechi?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Business Administrator Mr. Dehart?
Yes, just two things. So I missed the last meeting because I was participating in the Police Unity Tour. I know Deputy Mayor Kurz gave a little report, but I wanted to kind of give a shout out to the other members that participated in that. For those that aren't aware, it is a 4-day bicycle ride from New Jersey to Washington, D.C., where we finish at the Washington National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial in Washington. This year, we started in Camden at the Battleship New Jersey, and there are services all throughout New Jersey honoring different officers that have died in line of duty prior to this year. Team Monroe did honor one of our local residents who passed away 30 years ago this year, Officer Vincent Julia, who was killed on the Delaware River Bay Authority in 1996. So we all had a plaque with his name on all of our bikes. This year we had 9 members of the Monroe Township Police Department, 2 retired, 7 active, ride in the tour, and one of the other members did support for us. So it's a great job. We raise a lot of money for that. That money goes to support the memorial, names that get added for officers killed in the line of duty, and also the museum that is down in Washington, D.C. Very humbling event. A lot of family members. We participate in a candlelight vigil the day after we ride in. So, again, another year that we've done that. Also, on June 11th, you'll see on our Facebook page and our website, we're going to have a seminar here in the courtroom at 3 o'clock on our Market to Affordable program. There are some changes that are coming out. Triad is finalizing them, which is our administrative agent for our Market to Affordable program. So we're going to put it out there. People will be able to register for the seminar, just so that we know how many we have. If we need to schedule another one, if we get enough participation, we'll be able to do that. But that'll explain the program. It'll explain the income limits, and that'll help us use the money that comes in from developers when they don't do homes that meet the affordable list. So, and that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Director of Public Safety, Mr. Rumpf.
Just a quick report, some stats. Williamstown Fire Company has been extremely busy with house fires. Calls for the month, 76, total calls for the year, up to 424. Total number of hours worked, 163. Monroe Township PD, again, extremely busy. Calls for the month of April, 4,869. Total calls for the year are 18,500 calls. That's a lot. We're not even halfway through the year. Cecil Fire Department, calls for the month for April, 19, and total calls for the year, 150. That ends my thing.
Thank you. Director of Public Works, Mr. Dilks. Director of Real Estate, Ms. Posadzki.
No report, thank you.
Police Chief McBride.
Madam Clerk, I do have Mr. Sebastian's report. I can read into the record.
Oh, okay.
So the inspection report for the month of April, Construction Division, Building 323, Fire 83, Electrical 238, Plumbing 176, Mechanical 74, Pools 0, for a total of 894 inspections. Housing Division had 246 inspections, Zoning Division 231 inspections, 0 complaints for housing, 0 complaints for zoning. Construction was 1 complaint investigated by Mr. Sebastian and the administrator, discussed with complaint and no action required. So total for all divisions, 1,371. Year total for 2026 is 4,654 with just the 1 complaint. And it's signed by Mr. Sebastian. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cope.
Just briefly, on Saturday, June 6th, at Owens Park from 4 to 10:30 will be our annual music festival. So I hope everyone can come out and join us. It's a great event. There's 2 bands, amusements, food trucks, fireworks, so it's a great night. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Fox.
Real quick also, as the mayor had mentioned, we also attended a few events that he had stated. I also like to say the senior commission will be having quite a bit of events that will be coming out, and I will share with you at our next meeting of the events time and the prices. And that will conclude my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Heatherly.
Yes, I just wanted to thank everybody for the community cleanup, the craft fair, and the autism event that a lot of us attended this past month. Just what a great job, and hats off to all the volunteers and everyone that works for the municipality. Also attended the County Memorial Day along with county officials, with the mayor and other council people that spoke, and our American Legion Memorial Day ceremony. It was a great event, and I was very happy that the American Legion was still able to put it on despite the weather. Thank you. Concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Rossi.
Nothing to report, thank you.
Mr. Valentine?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Council Vice President, Mr. O'Reilly?
Yeah, quick, it was more of a question. Jim, for the market to affordable housing, a couple meetings ago, we had a resident come up and say, look, just asking about a possibility of potentially using the COA money or whatever we have to offset potential sales. Do you remember that conversation?
So that'll be what this is for. This money
Okay.
can offset sales of current homes instead of ones that not to be built, not new homes. So
Okay.
it'll help offset people that meet the criteria. They have a full chart the state puts out that's basically number of people that will be living in there, and then the money that can be offset based on your income levels is what that'll be.
Okay.
Again, Triad will be here to answer any of those questions, whether it's residents or anybody else who's willing to show up and just to learn more about it. But
What was that date again?
June 11th at 3 o'clock. And again, there will be a sign-up on the, on Facebook and our website, a link and a QR code that you'll register for it, just so I know, again, if we fill the room, we can schedule another
That'll
one.
be in this room?
In this
Here?
room, yep.
Okay, great.
Thursday, I think it's Thursday, June 11th at 3 o'clock.
All right. That's it, thank you.
Thank you. Council President, Mrs. Adams?
Yes, thank you. Briefly, I was also honored to attend many of the events with Mayor and my fellow council members and members of the administration. And then also, just finally, once again, congratulations to the girls' flag football team on their achievement. That concludes my report.
Thank you. This concludes reports for this evening.
Okay, we will now open the general public discussion. May I have a motion to open public portion?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Sherry, we're just going to check and see if we have a sign-in sheet first.
There is. Mine's just real quick, before they get into all their stuff. It's more for Don. Can you elaborate more on what you meant by a detention center? That just caught my attention when you were talking about a detention center earlier.
Mrs. Getzinger mentioned a little while back, a couple meetings back, to look into some ordinances so there wouldn't be any detention centers allowed here in Monroe
it's to
Township.
prevent them.
To prevent.
Oh, I was like, what is he talking about? Detention center now?
Prevent them, yes.
Okay.
Prevent them, yes. And
All right,
it's-
thank you.
it's
That's
being-
good to
it's being worked on,
clarify.
yeah.
Thank you, that's all.
Okay, first this evening, we have Everett Davis.
My name is Everett Davis. I'm a resident of the Greens here in Williamstown. I'm going to speak plainly tonight. I'm going to try to cut this a little bit short. I understand we are working on ordinances. Are any of these ordinances concerning data centers and what I've been requesting meeting after meeting? Does anybody know if that's what Ms. Grouse is working on?
Can you be more specific, Mr. Davis, when you say ordinances? Because right now, the ordinance is a straight ban. That's where
Okay,
we stand
and
at.
that's it. So you're not working on any other ordinances besides the setback one that they spoke about tonight?
The setback one is more broadly, I'll defer to Councilman Heverly on the specifics of that ordinance that was put forward. But
Yeah, it goes to kind of all businesses. It's not mentioning data centers.
Yeah, I
But
understand
we're
that.
looking into other ordinances, things that we can do lawfully to protect the residents and also not hurt businesses that are already in town or bring in good businesses. We're walking that fine line, so that's getting looked into, and that's all I can speak on at this point.
Hey, wait a minute, what happened to the ordinance banning fossil fuel generators as a primary source of power? What happened with that ordinance? I introduced an ordinance that was from Somerset County.
But wasn't that ordinance, just so wasn't that part of trying to lock out and ban the data center from a fuel standpoint? I just want to make sure that we're...
Well, no, because if we put in a ban for to generate their own power from anybody, not just a data center, that'll also stop the data center, because they're going to be required, and me and you had talked about it, maybe we should
I'm with you.
hydrogen and maybe a small nuclear plant, too.
But we were talking about that in conjunction with, make sure I'm speaking in the mic, in conjunction with data centers, or
No, we didn't want to mention the data center, we wanted to put it in as a primary source of power, generating your own power, off the grid. So now, once they go to force the data center, to make their own power and put back into the grid. So if we ban them from that, and then that doesn't stop campers or like construction site generators, whole house generators. It'll actually stop them from, that'll be their generating power from a primary, their primary source of
Heavy
power.
industrial.
Bear with me, Mr. Davis. So I see what you're saying, but the target is in relation to continue restrictions on a data center,
Yes,
which is straight out banned.
yes, but you can never have enough.
Okay. What I'm concerned about, just to be transparent, is we start creating, and I'm not opposed to what you're saying.
We're not-
I don't wanna
we're not
create-
mentioning data
I don't want
center
to
right now.
create restrictions for a data center, because I feel like that contradicts the fact that we've straight out banned it under any
It
circumstances.
doesn't mention data center in that. It just says you can't use fossil fuel
Okay,
as
so-
a primary.
so you wanna tee up-
generating primary source of power.
Okay, so let's have the discussion.
Yeah, that's fine. I know
I'm
that
good
could be
with it.
something that
I'm-
Sandra's looking into. That's, you know what I mean?
What I don't want to
speak
do
for her.
is confuse it or conflict it with the straight ban data center. I'm on board, because we did talk about it.
Well, just in case there's a loophole or something in the ordinances now that they try to get around, so now if they try to generate their own power, they can't. Because we have an ordinance in that. It's another hurdle for them to try to jump.
Okay, that sounds great. The only problem is just having the ban is not enough. The problem is, it was made in allowable use. There's no doubt that Hexa is going to wind up suing to try to get this in. I mean, this is a multi-billion-dollar, the data centers are coming. They're coming all over the place, and Hexa, we opened the door to them when it was made in allowable use. So here's my questions. Now, despite all the speeches, all the press releases, Facebook posts, and all the other attempts to calm public outrage, residents have yet to see anything substantial done beyond the ban itself. Though the setback, that's at least something. Have you started working on ordinances I, along with others, have been asking for, so if Hexa wins in court, they will be unable to build? Have you started working on aggressive land use restrictions? Another thing I, along with others, have been repeatedly asking for from the township. Have you started working on the environmental protections? Again, something that has been requested. Have you started the noise ordinances, specifically targeting industrial cooling systems and backup generators? You take Vineland, for example, it's something like 80 to 100 decibels. That's ridiculous for anything. And this is not just for data centers, any heavy industrial. Have you started working on the water usage restrictions, the hazardous battery storage regulations, the emergency response requirements, the protections addressing diesel emissions, toxic runoff, electrical substations, industrial HVAC systems, and massive lithium-ion battery installations? And this, like I said, this doesn't just address the data center issue, but other possible heavy industrial sites other developers might want to build in our town in the future. Plain and simple, have you started working on the protections needed to safeguard the residents? Or is this the design to make our community industrial corridor and turn a rural residential area into the worst of North Jersey? Residents have asked these questions repeatedly, and so far all we continue hearing is, we passed a ban and anyone can sue for anything. A ban that may very well fail because the township, like I said, made data centers in allowable use before rushing to reverse course once the public outrage exploded. And if that ban fails in court, and many residents believe there is a real possibility it could, what then? Because people sitting here don't know exactly what a 1 million square foot data center actually brings with it. Let me correct myself, because here, as Mr. Maley said, since they cannot allow dual use on that property, 2 data centers with a combined size of over 1.5 million square feet. Reality is, this is not some harmless office building storing emails and family photos. These are industrial utility complexes operating nonstop 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Massive cooling systems, industrial transformers, substations, backup diesel generators, lithium-ion battery storage systems, constant electrical demand, constant mechanical noise, constant environmental strain, and without a doubt, unknown future health concerns for residents in that area and surrounding areas. And residents are supposed to simply trust that everything will be fine. We don't. Because let's talk about, this is something no one's even covered so far. Let's talk about the financial reality of what happens if a catastrophic 1.5 combined million square feet of data centers catch on fire. This is something I haven't heard anyone address yet, but recently speaking with her, and this also goes, let's say, Heck said they wanted, I think it was a 1.6 million square foot warehouse. We don't have the fire department for it. A fire of that magnitude would not be handled with a few local fire trucks from Monroe Township. It would require hundreds of firefighters from multiple counties, dozens of fire engines, ladder trucks, hazmat teams, heavy rescue units, mobile command centers, specialized lithium-ion battery suppression equipment, industrial foam systems, thermal imaging systems, air monitoring systems, and massive water supply operations running nonstop for potentially days or more. And some of the equipment and infrastructure required to fight fires involving facilities of this scale are extraordinarily expensive. Specialized tower ladder trucks can cost well over $2 million each. Modern hazmat response vehicles can exceed $1 million. Heavy rescue apparatus often cost well over $1 million. Large-scale mobile command centers can cost hundreds of thousands to over $1 million. Industrial foam systems, battery fire suppression agents, thermal imaging systems, and atmospheric monitoring equipment all add enormous additional costs. And those costs would land solely on our township, which would then mean even higher taxes on our residents. All to save a building nobody wants anywhere near a township anyway. Then there's the water infrastructure. A medium to large-scale data center fire involving lithium-ion battery systems. Is the fire chief here by any chance? Because if I'm saying anything wrong, I'd like to be corrected. But I talked to another fire chief. This is where I got this information. Is he here by any chance? No? Okay. Well, if I'm wrong, have him contact me. That's no problem. Okay, Barry says, can require millions upon millions of gallons of water simply to continuously cool battery systems and stop thermal runaway reignition. That requires enormous pumping capacity, large diameter hose systems, relay pumping operations, and potentially outside water sourcing from surrounding jurisdictions. That is if we or our neighboring towns even have those capabilities. And who ultimately pays for the upgrades, equipment, training, staffing, and emergency preparedness needed for these industrial facilities? The residents, the taxpayers, the local emergency services. Because once these facilities are built, Monroe Township would be expected to prepare for worst-case scenarios, whether the township is financially prepared for them or not. Across the country, communities living near data centers have complained, I'm not even going to talk about the health issues. I think by now everybody knows what the health issues. Then there are the diesel generators. Not one or two generators, entire fields of them. Industrial-scale generators capable of operating for extended periods while pumping diesel exhaust and particulate pollution into surrounding neighborhoods. Then there are lithium-ion batteries, and that's the scary stuff. If one of these systems enters thermal runaway or catches fire, it can burn for days while releasing highly toxic gases into the air. Massive amounts of water may be needed to cool the batteries and prevent reignition. So you don't just put out the fire, you have to keep pouring water on it because it reignites and reignites. Millions of gallons potentially contaminated with chemicals, heavy metals, plastics, and firefighting agents running right into Hospitality Creek and our stormwater management system, and then destroying every waterway connected to it. And that's just to put out the fire. Plus the water runoff, that winds up absorbing into the ground, and what it would do to the local aquifers right in that area. Has the township explained how our emergency services are prepared for that? No. Has the township shown residents detailed emergency planning? No. Has the township demonstrated how local aquifers and water resources would be protected from industrial consumption and contamination? No. Instead, residents are expected to blindly trust the same officials who created this problem by making data centers an allowable use in the first place. And that is why people are angry. Because residents no longer believe this township is proactively fighting for them. Residents see a township reacting politically after public backlash, while still failing to implement the dozens of protections and ordinances that should already be moving forward if this council was truly serious about stopping this project permanently. Now, if Mrs. Grouse is at home working on these ordinances, I will be the happiest camper in the world, and you won't see me up here talking. But, quite frankly, many residents...
You went through a long gamut of stuff there. Just let me tell you that, are they working on ordinances, and you named a dozen things. The answer to that is yes. Spoke with Solicitor Grace yesterday. She is working on that, and they have to go, and there's analysis that has to with our municipal land use laws and the master plan. It doesn't get that happen quick, but it is getting worked on, and the ordinance that we passed tonight with the 1,000-foot setback is an example of that. That was just one that could have been done a lot easier. So the answer to all of those questions, the answer is yes, they are getting worked on, because we are listening to the residents.
Okay, how soon until those ordinances? I'm not familiar with how long it takes
I'm not
for
even
an
going to
ordinance
speculate that, and, you know, and all the hypotheticals you just ran through. I don't know. When they're ready, she can speak to that.
Because another worry I have, who exactly is Lou Capelli when it comes to this township?
I can speak on that. I mean, Lou Capelli is one of the managing partners at Florio, Peruggi, Steiner, Capelli, and Tippin.
Yeah. Do you also know he's a lobbyist for data centers?
I don't believe that's...
It's on the website.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just saying, I know Mrs. Grouse is our solicitor, but who
Mrs.
exactly...
Grace. It's Mrs. Grace.
Grace, okay.
Yes.
I'll apologize to her when I see her. When these bans and these ordinances are being written, is she writing them, or is somebody else writing them at the law firm?
No, correct. From what I understand, is Ms. Grace writes the ordinances, and she's working congruently, hand in hand with the township to make sure that representations are made.
So Lou Capelli doesn't have his fingers in there whatsoever?
I can't speak on everything that Lou Capelli does, but I'm not aware of that. I know that Sandra has a good relationship with this board and works closely with them and drafts predominantly all of the ordinances, from my understanding.
Okay. Anything else?
I was just, okay. You tell me.
Oh, yeah, I got a little bit more. Okay, and until residents actually see action instead of speeches, many are going to continue believing this township is not fighting. But if what you said is true, hey, like I said, I will be your biggest cheerleader. But we need to see it, we need to see it correctly. But my main question here, and then I'll finish up, why does it seem that the planning board did zero due diligence before approving a data center as an allowable use on this land? I did a Google search and came up with a ton of information dated prior to that decision. Why didn't they? You yourself, Mayor Wolf, and you said, and I quote, "You and the township are tasked with making very difficult decisions. Some decisions residents won't be happy with, and the decisions have to be in accordance with the law. All we are asking as residents is that going forward, most importantly, you, the council, and especially the planning board, start making smarter decisions, especially when it comes to any future redevelopment sites. And future growth in our community, you have an obligation before making an unpopular decision to ask yourself, would I want this near my home, near my family, near my children? The township will grow, but we need smart growth, not data centers or 1.6 million square foot warehouses or factories the size of large neighborhoods. And until residents actually see action instead of speeches, many are going to continue believing this township is not fighting nearly as hard as it claims to be." That's the end. Any questions?
Mr. Davis, I'll say this. Back in March of 2025, I'm hearing that you continually fault or blame the planning board for this decision. Remember, council starts the process. There was a motion made by Councilman Valentine to allow data center as a use in the Hexa redevelopment plan. It then goes to the planning board. So it starts here, it's authorized here, and then it goes to the planning board. Just want to make sure you're clearly understanding that, because I know you keep putting out that the planning board is where this started.
Would you like to answer that?
Yeah, sure. I did make the motion in March of '25. I just had 2 surgeries, prostate surgeries, to save my life. When I came back into council, March of '25, there was data on our agenda, not even knowing what it was. So I said, what's the data center? Mr. Wolf told me straight out, you don't want the trucks going down in your neighborhood, John. The infrastructure cannot handle it. Won't be able to handle it down there. And with the data center, it'll give us possibly $1 million pilot that we don't have to share with the Board of Education. Hey, fine, it sounded good to me. Who wants all the trucks down there? I asked what would be the impact on it. Barely anything, maybe 10, 15 employees. So hey, yeah, I did, I voted for it. Yes, I did, I voted for it twice. But after that, Jonathan Duff, Kate from Food and Water Watch, Heidi, Jason Weir, they all reached out. They reached out to all of us. I'm the only one that returned their call. I sat down and talked to them. Actually, we did a Zoom hearing with it too, and they told me straight out, Mr. Valentine, this will destroy your farm. We're in a 2-year drought already. And if that plant goes in there, you won't even be able to give your animals water. And that's when I came out against it. I came out against it January 8th at the planning meeting. At the planning board meeting. If you go back and look at that meeting, the same engineer that's going after Vineland right now, Ryan Kruger, he's with Sustain NJ, I think it is. He's fighting the data center. They just postponed it. He talked here on the 8th. He called out the engineers. Engineers couldn't even answer simple engineering questions to this young guy. And he's told them the application was incomplete. Do not pass it. They sent it forward anyway. All I did is ask them if they were going to approve it with the stipulation, make it so it cannot and will not ever be a data center. And the planning board attorney told me straight out, no. Then you move up to what, March 13th, 2026? Was it March 13th, I think it was, the next meeting, when Mayor Wolf personally attacked me because I came out of it because I flip-flopped. It's not that I flip-flopped. I was told what the data center would be. And every time after that, every meeting after that, he personally attacked me. Every time I tried to close a loophole. I don't know what's going on with these two ordinances right here. I have no idea. You brought up a good concern. Because Lou Capelli is our solicitor. Has he looked at these? Had he helped with these? So where's the loopholes in this? Is this just another spaghetti strainer just to jam it down our throat when it's slow walked? That's why I think we need to put more ordinances, like banning the fossil fuel generators as a primary power source. We need to do more. We don't have to keep calling it a data center ban, but we need to keep putting up a bigger defense, because it's coming. Because you know Manley, he's the ex-Collingswood mayor, and he said it, and I was here for that planning meeting. He said it without a care in his world. I'll make the whole site a data center, like it didn't matter. Didn't matter at all. And I seen them come after you about, you mentioned something about that he donated money to their campaign. And then you got berated about that. But you know what, matter of fact, Maley did donate money to Wolf and O'Reilly's campaign, and here it is from the elect file, and I'll enter this on the record too. Eileen, thank you.
Listen, I'm not...
I'd like to say this, John. Most of the stuff that you say is untruthful, and most of that stuff right there is
It's right here in black.
John, you had your time to talk.
Come on, say
John, you had your time to talk.
Okay. Come on.
You had your time to talk, John.
All right, okay.
So you had your time to talk, uninterrupted, okay? You and Mr. Davis are running our political opponents, and you could say Manley donated to my campaign. Back in 2018, when I wasn't involved in politics, I was running for council with former Mayor DeLucia, and there was a $500 donation by Manley Givens. At the time, Hexa was not even a subject in Monroe Township. They weren't an owner at the time. We didn't know who Hexa was. They don't represent Hexa back in 2018. And so when that donation was made, you can also check elect reports, because that's what they're there for checks and balances, to make sure everybody's doing things in accordance with laws. And campaigns take political contributions. As a matter of fact, Manley Givens donates to the Gloucester County GOP, who supports your campaign and funds your campaign. So
Fund my
don't sit
campaign.
here...
I have $1.67 in my account probably. You got what, 50, 60, 70, $80,000? How do you run a campaign?
Again, John, I'm talking uninterrupted. So again, here's an elect report. Manley Givens giving to the Gloucester County GOP, who funds your campaign.
They don't give me a dime.
So, John, you could...
Show me the elect files where they give me a dime.
It's all in elect reports, and it's all according to the laws. So...
It's always according to the law.
That's right, because I follow the law, John. You don't.
I don't. How do I not follow the law?
That's why... Stop.
John, stop.
That's why you were arrested for fraud, John.
Order. Mayor, John.
Stop. John, next meeting, I'll bring the criminal complaint that you were charged with fraud, and we'll put that on the record as well.
All right.
That's funny, Greg. Let me ask you a question.
John.
Why'd you retire?
It's the truth, John. It's the truth.
Well, the truth is, how much did you call the township? How much
John.
did you cost the township?
John. Enough. John.
Nothing.
It didn't cost you, it cost the
John,
taxpayers.
I said enough.
Nothing, John. You can stand up here and grandstand and try to do politics. We'll see.
Mayor, enough. Okay. I'm taking a 5-minute recess. I'm taking a 5
recess.
Before you take the recess, can I
calling this meeting back to order. Next on the list, we have Chris Stockman.
President, if I may, for 1 minute,
It'll come back.
we're in an intermission.
It'll come back.
If I may, for 1 minute, I just want to apologize to everybody for taking it personally, the personal attack. So, I didn't mean nothing by it. I shouldn't have let it get to me, but I'm sorry.
Yes, are you Mr. Stockman?
Yes, sir. Good evening, council members and fellow neighbors.
Okay, I need you, just,
I got you. I got my name and where I live. I got
yes,
you.
thank you.
My name is Chris Stockman, and I live at 638 Corkery Lane here in Williamstown.
I thought we weren't doing addresses anymore.
Just name and city.
Oh, yeah, you don't need to do
I
that.
know, but I'm not worried about it. Now, before I came in here, me and Mr. Mayor, we had a positive conversation, I'd like to believe, right, Mr. Mayor? We had a positive conversation, correct? All right. And you said it really doesn't matter, like, part of our conversation, but I'm going to take this opportunity to put it on the record, all right? I would like to ask the residents here, if you want to speak up, you want to clap, how many of you in here would like to see this warehouse and data center never come to Williamstown ever again? I just wanted to hear it because in a defense that, while it may be a small portion of your argument, is part of the argument, is what the township and the public as the township want in our society, in our community going forward. We have some say, and this is why the data center ban was enacted in the first place, because enough of us spoke up and enough of us said we don't want it, and you took that into account and you listened to us. So I want you to listen to every person that just clapped and made their voice heard. Use that in your defense when you go to court against HEXA, because it will, even if it's a fraction of a percentage, it still matters. Now, I'm going to continue. We are facing a massive choice about the future of Monroe Township. The decisions you make going forward will change our community forever. Some people argue that building warehouses and data centers is the only option we may have to make money for our town. It is true that we need tax revenue to pay our bills, fund our schools, and fix our infrastructure. But I am here to tell you, Mr. Mayor, in my opinion, covering our remaining green spaces in warehousing and data centers is a lazy, short-sighted fix. It creates massive, long-term problems. To be completely honest, I hate warehouses. I do not like looking at them. I do not want them in our backyard. And I know our residents feel that very same way. They destroy our beautiful green spaces. They ruin our local roads with the heavy truck traffic. They degrade our daily quality of life. Monroe Township deserves much better than becoming an industrial truck stop. Because of this, I want to see a total, complete ban on all new warehouse construction in our community. Going forward, we must stop approving them immediately. Monroe has better uses for its land. Mr. Mayor, like I said, we had a positive conversation on your way in, which I did truly appreciate. I have a specific proposal. I propose we focus our economic strategy on attacking top-tier companies. We should look for businesses that build professional offices, medical facilities, and vibrant retail shops and innovation centers. Those are types of high-quality businesses that actually add value to our town. But to attract them, we have to keep Monroe looking like a place where people actually want to live, invest, and work. If we build massive truck hubs and loud, resource-heavy data centers everywhere, we ruin our township's charm. We scare those good companies away. Until those premium companies are ready to build here, we need to find smarter, alternative ways to manage our budget. We cannot just take the easy way out with logistics buildings. We cannot sacrifice the look, character, and safety of our town for a quick buck. Under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, there is something there that is actually persuading these companies to make sure that they have these buildings in place before 2030. So thank you, President Trump, for adding this problem to our town, so we have to come up here and speak about it in the first place. Let's protect our parks, our neighborhoods, and our local roads. We need to save our land for a better, cleaner future. We can fix our budget without ruining our community. I urge this council to listen to the residents and issue a total ban on warehouses. If these warehouses and data centers absolutely must be built somewhere, then put them somewhere else. Build them in another state altogether, but keep them completely out of Monroe Township. Please, I know that they are vital, but we don't need them in our town. Thank you.
Next on the list, we have Joan Baines.
Hello, Joan Baines,
You just need to say the city that you live in, ma'am.
Williamstown, New
Thank you.
Jersey. You're
Thank you.
welcome. Two ordinances I'm requesting, and Donald Haverly, I believe you may have covered one of them. The master plan, I would like to see that changed to eliminate data centers. But I believe you said that one of them is
We
being
have a-
worked on?
No?
No?
We have a full ban on data centers
I
in Monroe
understand that.
Township.
I understand that, but if that gets knocked down by this attorney for Hexa, what do we have? We have something in our master plan that allows data centers. I'd like that taken out.
I don't think our master plan mentions data
Adam,
centers
you
at
want to
all.
comment on that?
Yeah.
It wasn't envisioned when we actually wrote the master plan back in '22. But I see your point. It still leaves it open. It's not specifically called out in there, but we are working to kind of reinforce the master plan and make sure that that's clearly stated in there and address those issues that come with the use.
Because the attorney for Hexa said that we opened the door by allowing data centers.
I don't believe he said that. I think other people came up here and said that, but the attorney, I don't believe, said that.
Right? He did.
I could be wrong. I
Yeah.
just didn't hear him say it.
He did.
If that's what he meant, maybe he meant through the redevelopment plan. Maybe that's what he was pointing at when he said we opened the door for it. because
In the
it was
redevelopment plan?
Right, but it was taken out of the redevelopment plan.
It was
That
taken
one
out of the
ordinances-
redevelopment plan.
Right, that were passed.
Okay.
To remove that use from the redevelopment plan, and then that went with the ban that was passed that night as
And
well.
our plan, and we're going to strengthen our
Our master plan.
master plan
Correct, exactly.
so that we do not allow
So it's
anymore.
specifically addressed, and I actually saw something
Okay.
today. The state of New Jersey is actually starting
I
to
know.
take action on data centers as well. So we'll look to them if they update their state plan as well, which
Okay.
we're expecting to see. We'll probably use some of that language and we'll reflect that in our plan as well
All right.
to make sure we're consistent with the state regulations as
Uh-huh.
well.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
The second thing I wanted to address the council on is taxes. I know when you live near high-tension wires, like if you have high-tension wires behind you, you get a reduction in your taxes for that. The utility company allows, they think that that's, a reason to defer your taxes somewhat. And I think if this should go through, because I live a quarter of a mile away from this site, and it'll be in my backyard, I'd like to see my assessment equal what I can get for my house, which will be nothing. I would really like an ordinance to say that anyone within a 2-mile radius of a data center have a zero assessment based on an appraisal. I'll get an appraisal, but my house will be worth nothing. And I know there are other people in the town that are affected by pine lands that can't sell their property.
I just think there should be some compensation for that. Okay?
Just so you know, the county is the one that assesses your home. That doesn't come from the municipality. Some people don't know that. Just,
Okay, so the county
yeah,
assesses.
the municipality does, we're not the ones that assess your home.
But we go
That's
to the
county.
township for tax appeals, correct?
No.
It's
That goes to the county as well.
When I lived in Voorhees, I appealed my taxes through the township. No?
Yeah, so Monroe Township used to have a tax assessor.
Okay.
That has all gone to Gloucester County.
so
We don't
that's
have a tax
changed.
assessor anymore in Monroe, but that's been 10 years,
time, yeah.
maybe. So it's been a while, but Gloucester County does the tax assessment,
behind.
bond assessment, everything, yeah. So
Okay.
that used to be here, but it's not anymore.
Oh,
I don't know
so
if Voorhees
that's-
still has it or not. in
I
the
don't know,
county.
they probably changed too.
Yeah.
So that would have to go before the county.
Correct.
Okay, and how would I just contact
Sure,
the
we can
county?
reach out to the commissioners and get the
Yeah, we
process for
can,
that,
if
get
you want to
information.
leave, Mr. Dehart, your name and phone number.
Sure.
You know, we can have someone reach out and how that works, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Thank you. And then I would approach them and ask them to do an ordinance.
We'll talk to them
Similar-
and get the actual process for that and see how that
Okay.
would work. Because again, if they do that, maybe it's something that could affect anywhere in Gloucester County, not just Monroe.
Okay,
Might be something.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Next, we have Dawn Hayes.
Dawn Haynes, Williamstown, New Jersey. Mayor, Council, Planning and Zoning Board. After much research and investing the township's conduct that opened the door for the massive warehouses and the data centers will not be closed by a ban on data centers or an incomplete application. The Hexa Plan and the company bought the land 3045 South Black Horse Pike in April 2018. Since then, there is proof that much through your system, you have been changing the zoning codes, the planning zones, ordinances to allow this data center. The Hexa lawyer even stated that you approved the official paperwork to allow a data center. It's been years. And, let me see. Okay, Mr. Wolf, you said you really didn't have anything dealings with the data centers because you weren't mayor, but guess what? You were the president of the town council and then mayor with your signatures of approvals through the years, even though this went to say that we would have a data center built. My question to this council is what kind of data center are we going to have? Oh, thank you for looking at me, because you haven't looked at one resident up here the whole meeting. Maybe a look here or there, but you look very bored and busy.
Ma'am, I take a lot of notes. So it's not being disrespectful to you because I'm writing down a lot of notes what people say.
Well, I
Well,
must
peop-
say, you can look up, if you looked up maybe once or twice, 3 times during the 2 speakers.
Okay, again, I'm not going to dispute, I'm taking notes, okay, like I
Okay.
always do in every meeting.
All right. So my question is, what kind of data center will we have built? I have researched and traveled to 2 of them. Have you traveled and seen any of these data centers, Mr. Wolf?
Yes,
Okay, which ones have you seen?
Vineland,
Okay, and which other one?
Vineland.
Okay. That's the end of your investigation on what a data center is?
Ma'am, we have banned data centers. I'm not sure if you were aware, but
Oh, I'm quite sure that you did the ban after the fact. After the fact that we gave the approval to the Hexa company by allowing usage for a data center. I am quite aware of that. And I think with you being a mayor and the residents of Williamstown, New Jersey put their trust in you, the same as I did, for electing you mayor, thinking, my God, he grew up in Williamstown, his parents are here, he has history, he had a police officer, he was one of the coaches of the Monroe Braves. And I knew you back then. And
to stand here and think that you would do this to us, I'm appalled. I don't even know what else to say. That you, through the years, you said you had nothing to do, but through the years, yes, Mayor Wolf, you have had some, you've been here through it all. Mayor Wolf served as a councilman at large on the Township Council for a total of 4 years.
Correct.
January 2019 to December 2022.
Correct.
Correct. And when did the Hexa buy this land? 2018, April. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, 9 months. You came in, you might not have known that it was bought for $5 million, over $5 million. But I'm certainly sure there was a little talk in town, an underlay, because anybody that would work here in the tax office would say, God, who bought that for over $5 million? So it's hard to think that our township and our boards would not hear say of any of that, would not be able to say, God, why is a company buying land that's really not worth $500,000, $600,000 in 2018, but bought it for over $5 million? I'm complexed at that. I can't even find any reasoning until 7 years later, oh, guess what? A data center's coming. And if they can wait 7 years, they can wait longer for this court process to happen. And you know what you're going to say, Mr. Mayor? If you're mayor, when it comes out, oh, everybody has the right to sue. We didn't know that they were going to win because guess what? We put a ban on it. Well, the ban doesn't mean anything because you approved the data centers before you even did the ban. Legally, they have every right to sue, which they will, and in a court of law, they will win. And we will be getting a data center. And I just want to know, what kind of data center are we going to get? And I'm ashamed to say that you can only say that you traveled to one data center. And if I may, what did you think of it, Mr. Mayor?
It's very large.
When you rolled down your windows, did you hear the humming from it?
I did.
Okay. Is that something that you would want to do to your residents?
Ma'am, look, I'm not here to testify on that.
I'm not.
Okay, the council back in March of '25 voted to allow data centers. That is correct. The council this year voted to remove the data center use from that same project, as well as put a ban in effect. And that's where we're at.
Okay. Well, I don't want to put you on trial here, but in March 7th, 2024, the Planning Board regular meeting, and it was Mr. Kearns who did an update in his report on January 16th, 2024. And the discussion was about the Hexa plan, redevelopment plan. Mr. Campbell agrees to Mr. Kearns' comment that he would recommend to council that this is why he was asked to investigate for the development, but for not the power of eminent domain, and not for the is it condemnation?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Wolf states the property owners are more than happy to develop the property, and it is extremely important to them and the township. It further goes to say, Mr. Campbell states that, but if the board needed more time to look at it, they would save it for the next meeting. Mayor Wolf motioned to approve Mr. Kerman's report and noted non-condemnation, second by Mr. O'Reilly. Roll call. Ayes, Mr. Wolf, Mr. Riley, Mr. Brown, Mr., I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this, Mr. Giacomucci, Mr. Hensel, and Mr. Muir. Nays, 0.
And you're talking about the redevelopment plan. When Hexa was put into a redevelopment plan,
No, these are straight from your Monroe Township Planning Board regular meeting, March 7th, 2024.
Okay, and then in March of '25 is when council voted to allow a data center use. Prior to that, there was no talk about data centers.
Correct.
So that was
HEXA
all
has
to
been
do- that was all to do
slowly
with
working the
warehousing.
system to get what they wanted.
Excuse me?
HEXA has been slowly working your system to get what they wanted, a data center. Because first of all, it was a farmland, then it went to rural, and then it went to development, housing. It even stated on the sign for the 168 acres.
That was back in 2010.
2010, that it was for housing, you said storefronts and all that.
Correct. Back in 2010, there was a developer that had purchased it from,
And who was that developer?
I believe it was a developer called Cecil Creek or Cedar Creek.
Mhm.
Developers, don't quote me on that.
So what was it zoned when HEXA bought it?
Adam, you want to go through the zoning? This was done a few meetings back, but Adam can speak to that.
So back in 2010, it was changed to the RGMU zone. So regional growth mixed use was the development zone. And then as it came forward in time, back in 2018, I want to say, or 2019, there was a redevelopment or commercial corridors investigation done for the non-condemnation designation for that corridor. It was a rehabilitation designation. So that's what sets into motion the ability to write a redevelopment plan for that site. And then coming forward, the redevelopment plan was written. The redevelopment plan included warehousing initially, and then it was updated to include data centers, as you spoke about. And then after that, the redevelopment plan was then updated to remove data centers out of that and all associated uses with the data centers, and then the ban was put on after that.
So explain to me in layman's words, if HEXA got all the approvals that they need for a data center, can we say that anything after that can really not protect us from them coming?
Well, HEXA didn't get all their approvals for a data center. They have approvals for a warehouse right now, and they only have preliminary approval for a warehouse. So they never submitted an application. They did submit an application, but the application was deemed incomplete and put to the side when they came in for a data center. So right now, there's no approval for a data center at all.
So then in December, when the planning board okayed or did revisions for the zoning, why did the an author of the Courier, Mr. Smith, state that it was also for data usage in the planning board?
I think you're referring to, right, so what has to happen is when an ordinance is passed, right, if a redevelopment plan is updated, that's
Correct.
got to be done by ordinance. So then, after that's introduced, it has to go to the planning board for consistency. I think that's what you're referring to, because that's when it goes down to the planning board, and that's when there
Well,
would be a
it was
report done.
approved for data.
That would have been through an ordinance.
data centers
And then that
usage.
would have been pulled back out, right. I'm just trying to keep which report
Right.
you're referring to.
Well, I'm trying to understand, how can you approve it for data centers and then take it back?
You do that through ordinance.
But in a court of law, couldn't that be used against us?
I'm not an attorney, ma'am. I can't speak on
Oh,
that.
you're not concerned?
But, yeah, I'm not an attorney.
And then denying them after we're after the incomplete application, then banning data centers, it leaves a hole for them to come back, right? Leaves a hole for them to come back legally and say, we already started the approval process.
Correct. I don't know,
I
I'm just
mean-
very discouraged.
Yeah, what's the question? I mean, from a legal perspective.
Well, the lawyer for HEXA stated that we already opened that door.
What did the lawyer state, and when was that?
It was at the meeting, May 12th. It was the one that had to be,
Planning board
the
meeting.
planning board meeting, because they had to have it before, they had to hear HEXA legally.
How do you close it and then say you can't do it anymore? The door's already been opened.
Yes.
I mean, you can't come to a conclusion if you would win or lose in court, especially if the litigation hasn't even started yet.
Okay. Oh, my goodness.
Ma'am, for the record, you just need to speak in the microphone when she's finished. Thank you.
You can go up now. But it just seems, Mayor Wolf, it's a done deal. Here's a letter that I found. It was February 23rd, 2023. Mayor Gregory A. Wolf and members of Monroe Township Council, 125 Virginia Avenue, Williamstown, New Jersey, 08094, RE. Commercial Quarter Redevelopment Area Hexa Builders Development Plan Block 8401, Lots 9, 8, 9, and 10. Dear Mayor Wolf and members of council, I serve as solicitor to the Planning Board of Monroe Township, the Planning Board. Please be advised, at their meeting on February 23rd, 2023, the Planning Board reviewed the Commercial Corridor Redevelopment Area Hexa Builders Development Plan dated November 15th, 2022 for Block 8401, Lots 8, 9, and 10. The Planning Board found that the Commercial Corridor Redevelopment Area Hexa Builders Redevelopment Plan is consistent with the 2024 Comprehensive Master Plan and 2012 Master Plan reexamination. The Planning Board will be adopting a memorizing solution at their next meeting. If you have any questions or concerns in this matter, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you. Yours very truly, Linda A. Ganella. So, I don't even know what to say. So, you are our mayor who has taken the trust that we had in you and you ripped it up like a piece of paper. And I'm totally, I don't even know what to say. I've lived here for 38 years, and I never thought that our council, especially of Monroe Township, would do this to their residents. We have worked very hard. We sent our kids here. We did everything that we wanted to do and help make our township better. But in one swipe of a pen, and I can contest with you, Mr. Valentine, when someone said to me, a data center, I had no idea. And he asked you, and you commented what he stated was a data center. It's going to be good for business, John, don't worry about this and that. You knew very well what this data center was going to be. And you sort of took the trust of the residents of Williamstown, and the best time to deceive them was December, January. We're all busy with the holiday season, and here it is, December, the revisions to the planning board were done. January, the Hexa plan was okayed. And then all of a sudden, due to the backlash, now you have a ban on the data centers. Well, it's not going to work. And yes, the residents of Williamstown have trusted you, and at this point, I don't know how how you can't even think of resigning your mayor position, and let alone about running. You have tough questions coming towards you, and you know what? You look like you don't even care, because you know what's coming.
Ma'am, I think you have a lot of your facts incorrect.
Okay, which ones?
So, a lot of them.
Well,
A lot of them. First of all, the conversation with
I'm here,
Mr.
Mr. Wolf.
Valentine never occurred. Okay, I
I'm
think
sorry,
the
what?
timeline is off. First and foremost, when I was on council, just so you understand,
Okay.
that the former administration, right, the former council before I became mayor, there was a redevelopment study that was done. However, the reason why it was passed when I became mayor is because you have to have the same council sitting for both readings, and when it was presented to the council, there was only one meeting left that year. Because people were changing on council, you cannot do one reading one year and the next reading with a new council. So that's why it was held until, I believe it was February, March of '23, when it was finally approved. And that was the redevelopment plan, which happens quite often with not just the Hexa redevelopment plan, but many different other plans are put into a redevelopment zone. So that is not out of the ordinary for a redevelopment plan to be adopted by council.
Oh, correct, correct. But it kept changing until it got what it wanted, a data center, which happened in December. Your planning zone, your planning
It didn't
committee,
happen in December. It happened March of 2025, when the council voted to allow data centers as a permissible use.
so then you're stating that it happened, I'm sorry, I was misinformed, then it didn't happen in December. It actually happened in when, did you say?
March of 2025. council-
2025.
Correct.
So the council then made the changes to accept a data center.
To allow data center use in the Hexa redevelopment
Okay.
zone.
Do you hear what you just said? That it wasn't in December, it was in March,
March of '25, correct.
that you changed the zoning and planning board to revise it to having data centers usage?
The Monroe Township Council voted to allow data center as a use. After that happens, it then goes to the planning board.
Correct, and what happened at the planning board?
The planning board reviews it to make sure that it's consistent with the master plan and in accordance with our ordinances.
Well, it stated in the letter to you that it was in accordance with the master plan.
Correct. So it was consistent with our master plan.
So the data center usage was and is consistent with the master plan of 2012.
Adam, you want to speak to that? Not 2012, 2025. That happened in 2025, not, I think you just said 12? Okay.
The master plan was 2012.
The master plan was 2022. That was when our last master plan was done.
Okay, so it's,
2022.
okay.
So the master plan, the way that the master plan is written, it allows for a variety of businesses in the town. So when that presentation was given, there were citations in there deeming it consistent with our master plan. Now, we're taking steps to make sure that the master plan is reinforced to address data centers specifically and make sure that everything that we're talking about, the ban and taking out the redevelopment plan, is upheld through looking at environmental standards and things like that and what's coming down from the state.
So then our master plan 2022, a data center is acceptable.
Our master plan does not specifically call out data centers. It calls out a variety of commercial businesses.
Well, a data center would be one of them, right? A variety
That's
of,
the reason for the
Okay.
consistency
so we
determination.
might as well say that it would allow a data center. The wording's just a little different.
It was deemed consistent.
It doesn't state data centers specifically,
Correct. It does not specifically call out data centers.
Well, there you go. Wording can be very tricky at times, can't it? Well, re-election's coming, and you know what? It's actually too soon for people to really realize what our township has done to us. But I can only say, residents of Monroe Township, good luck. The data center's coming.
Okay, next we have last name Williams. Last name Williams, I can't read the first name, last name is Williams. Okay. Is there anyone wishing to speak to the council? Anyone further wishing to speak to the council?
Jenna Kearns, Williamstown. I know you guys have seen me a lot. I didn't plan on speaking tonight, but I just thought I would tell you guys, like, all of us are angry because, like, this isn't our job to protect us. Like, we elected you guys. And I get it. Your job sucks. You have to hear us bitch at you all the time. For, like, 2 hours, you get yelled at. I get it. It's fucking hard. It's fucking annoying. And I know I'm cussing. I'm so sorry.
Please
I
watch
will-
the
yeah.
language, thank you.
But here's the thing. You doing that to me is almost a slap in the face because we have this one and this one bickering like two
Ma'am,
children.
I tried to stop
And I
them.
get that. I get that. You're gabbling and they don't listen to you.
Right, so,
But it's just a
I'm just
slap in the
asking you to watch
face
the
to
profanity.
all of
Yes.
us that are so angry to watch two people that are elected by us act like that. And it's not just them. You got this guy who's new, and he's got an attitude for some reason. He hasn't even been yelled at like Sandra has, and she doesn't even have an attitude like he does. Mr. Heverly, Mr. Rossi, sorry, but the way that you spoke to Mr. Everett, like, I get it. He's running against you. He speaks a lot. He complains a lot. I get it. It's annoying. But, like, you ever worked in customer service? Kill them with kindness. It would get you a lot farther to smile in our face and say, I'm sorry that you feel that way. We are working against it. Than to just continually keep saying, like, nope, this is happening. Nope, sorry. Like, you over-explain it. We hear what you're saying. We're talking to you because we're angry about what you're saying. You may be trying to fix it. That's great. Say, I am so sorry that you are this angry. I'm so sorry. It's not hard to say. I say it all the time. I
Chairman.
deal with customers 24/7.
Can I just comment on something? We have been working on this nonstop, whether people believe that or not.
That's great.
We have been working on this nonstop since the January 8th Planning Board meeting, when the first comments came from the public, and we recognize that.
Great.
And since every meeting, we have been working on this. You understand that you've been here for the 6-hour meetings and all that, and I know you're very passionate about this, but we have been working nonstop on this to ensure that we protect the township the best way we possibly can with the laws. So I can appreciate what you're saying, that sometimes you may not think that we're not listening, you may think that we're being
That's not at all what I
disrespectful,
said.
you think that we might not be smiling up here, right? But we have been working nonstop to ensure that this thing is correct.
Okay, right there, like how you just stopped me and did that. Do you want a pat on the back? That's your job.
I don't want a pat on the back. I'm just telling you're saying, hey, you should do this.
That's your job.
And I understand that.
And your job is to talk to us like we're individuals and not like we're beneath you, because we're not beneath you. Technically, we elected you, so you should technically be beneath us. We elected you. Like, you serve us. And I know that really upsets you. I can see the eye rolls. I can see the mouth tensing. I see it all. It's okay. You can be honest with me. I'd rather you
listen.
tell me that you dislike me and you dislike what I'm saying than pretend like you're okay with it.
It goes both ways, right? So you have certain people that come up and yell and scream and attack, right? And sometimes you're in a no-win battle. So sometimes you don't say nothing and you sit there. And then you don't like the facial expressions, you don't like this, because that's the way you interpret them, right? But, right? I mean, that's the way you
I
interpret it.
mean, you just interpreted my facial expression. All I did was look around to
No,
see
no,
what
but-
everybody else was interpreting from you, but
But we've
you're
had good
interpreting my
listen, we've
facial
had,
expressions.
you and I have gone back and forth, right? And,
And I know you apologized to my mother for how you treated me, but you've never publicly or acknowledged that you
we have
apologized to me.
We've since had a meeting with your mother.
Yeah, and you apologized to
and your
her
uncle,
for how
and-
you spoke to me,
And
but not me.
we've had a very long, lengthy, productive discussion, okay? And even though we may not see eye to eye on this subject or many other subjects, you
It's
know,
not about seeing eye to eye,
I'm
sir.
still going to work for you, and I'm still going to do everything that I can do to help you and to help every resident here. And that's the truth.
And I hope you do. I'm not against you. I'm not against any of you. What I was against and what I still am against is the fact that you guys are creeping into the Pinelands with all these big buildings and everything, and the fact that the Williamstown is being built up like crazy. I'm against all of that. And it seems to just keep getting passed through, and it seems like everybody just wants to lay on their back and take it. And I'm sorry, but I don't like that.
But Jenny,
And when we
the-
speak, stop interrupting me. And when we speak, we get interrupted when this is our public portion. We can't interrupt you guys. We get yelled at, we get gavelled, that's fine. But you guys can interrupt us the whole time. And then you make us mad and get us off of what we're saying. And then you act like we're the ones in the wrong. Like, I get told I'm a bitch all the time. That's fine. I'm sorry. Excuse that. I'm rude. I'm disrespectful. I'm all these things. but have you ever looked in the mirror? Like the way that you guys acted, and you also partook in that. You're not innocent. That's disgusting. I work 7 days a week and I come here to listen to you guys bicker. I don't care if you have the worst, shadiest past in the world. I don't care if you were an ex-drug addict, you're an ex-alcoholic, you beat your wife, you beat your son. I don't care. As long as you are doing what we want for this town in the future and you're making the decisions that are right for the residents. I don't care what you have to say about each other or each other's pasts. I don't care. And I'm sorry, but if any of these people care, then go to Facebook and write your little comments. I don't care. This is not the time or the place for that. If I want to hear that drama, I'll go watch The Real Housewives. Like, this is literally a reunion panel. Like, you're Andy Cohen at this point, like, gaveling and asking people to, like, please be quiet and listen to each other. And I'm sorry, most women will know that a Real Housewives reunion looks very similar to this. Like, that's all I have to say. I'm not going to discuss the whole, like, data center, thank you for the ban. I'm not saying anything against that. I'm just saying, look in the mirror at how you treat people. And I get it. I am the pot calling the kettle black. I come up here and I cuss you guys and I'm a mean person. I got it. But I also know how to conduct myself like an adult when I have to. And if I was sitting on that panel like you guys are, which God forbid I ever do because I would never want to be one of you guys, sorry, you guys got to But just look at how you treat us. Like, that's why people are mad. You guys are doing the ban. Thank you. But the way you say it, it's like a slap in the face. It's not like, hey guys, we're really working for you. We're getting the ban together. Like, I'm so sorry that this is what we voted in. I'm sorry that you guys are in this predicament and now you guys are all mad. I'm so sorry. I'm pretty sure that a lot of these people would take that better than, we're working on a ban, it's getting done, we're doing it as fast as we can. Just because you guys want to cause a stink in January, we're getting it done. Like, it comes off so disrespectful. And it's okay. If you don't want to take my hint of little, that's fine. But I'm just saying it as somebody who's sat back here since January or March or whenever the heck I started coming to these meetings. And I feel bad for a lot of you that sit there. I feel bad for O'Reilly. I feel bad for Cope. I used to feel bad for you until you started speaking up against Mr. Everett and his campaigning. Fox, I feel bad for you. Like, you guys, certain ones of you are actually listening. Riley, I love the fact that you've actually said smart things and you speak on us and you say it in a calm way and you don't try to disrespect us. I've actually really liked you the past few meetings. It's just speak to us like we're individuals and like we're adults, because we're all here spending 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a night after our day jobs, after our work, after our families. We get it. It sucks. We're all here too. It sucks. Don't treat us like we're assholes. Thank you. Sorry for the cussing. I know. It's terrible.
Thank you, Jenna.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak this evening?
Oh, I'm sorry. What? I did have my turn, but you know what? I got so upset with Mayor Wolf coming at me of not knowing my...
Ma'am, do you want to address council?
Yes, I do.
Yes, thank you.
So, I'm astounded, Mayor Wolf, that you only visited one. But I researched two. There's one up in East Windsor, and it's called the QTS Data Center. It's located at 159 Princeton Heights Road, East Windsor, New Jersey. Now, this has no containment walls, just a fence. It's half the size of ours, and the company was given strict ordinance for the way they had to put the data center in. These ordinances were advanced structural sound mitigation. The QTS developers implemented special acoustic enclosures, sound barriers, and strategic site layouts to keep the noise below New Jersey limit of 50 decibels after 10 p.m. 45 decibels is what they have. That's half of Violence. Violent is 90. They have a closed-loop cooling system rather than a louder traditional air handlers. They had advanced engineering on site at all times, an engineer. The residents still voice strong concerns about increased utility rates, increased water consumption, and the facility being located to wetlands. And Vineland, as you said, the noise was there. You have the gas, diesel generators for the air pollution, noise, and vibrations. The facility scale is the 300 megawatts facility, runs 24/7. It can be disruptive for neighbors up to 2 to 2.5 miles. The health departments come out, they need to find out where the noise is coming from, they say. Fines are a joke for these big companies if they have endless pockets. Now I've said my piece. Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak this evening? Joe?
Okay. John Romano, Williamstown, New Jersey. On another note, I was one of the 300 volunteers honored to participate in the cleanup on May 9th.
Thank you.
I worked alongside my fellow brothers with the Knights of Columbus. Our patch was along Winslow Road, starting at Broad Lane. I couldn't believe the amount, not so much the amount of trash that we picked up, but the amount of empty beer cans and empty liquor bottles in just that mile up and mile back that we walked. It really got me thinking, and I'm actually troubled by this, the amount of people in our town that are drinking and driving and just tossing those empty containers out the window. So I just wanted to say to our police chief that perhaps a few more patrol cars on that stretch, different hours of the day, night, it's probably happening mostly at night. They're drinking, they don't want to be just tossing them out. Might do our township some good to get some drunk drivers off the road before they hurt themselves, hurt us, kill each other, whatever.
Mr. Romano, which stretch was that?
We walked from, on Winslow Road, we started at Broad Lane, and we walked like away from Monroe Township, I guess, to about the covered bridge, maybe about a mile and a half up, mile and a half back. I mean, we collected a ton of empty liquor. And I can believe it. It was that much alcohol. That just tells me that people are drinking and driving in this
Yeah,
township.
there's no doubt it still happens, but I did see a report within the last couple of weeks that alcohol use is on the decline. So that's a good sign, but still need, to prevent
Just a
people from drinking and
suggestion,
driving.
put a few more cars out there, especially at nighttime.
Yeah. And we do receive grant money, I believe. We, Chief, correct me if I'm wrong, if we already did it or maybe we're doing it. We have DWI patrols as well as, don't we have a checkpoint soon? Okay. Due to the weather. So we do have checkpoints that we get grant money from state for that, and we also have DWI patrols that just target drunk drivers.
I just thought on that stretch of road, since there was such evidence
Yeah,
of it happening, that,
yeah, it's unfortunate.
okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak this evening?
Linda Sullivan, Williamstown. I'm just saying I'm looking forward to seeing the ordinances that you're working towards to protect us against the data centers. I'm glad you stated that you're working on several of them, so I'm looking forward to seeing them soon because we don't have time to wait. And while you're doing the ordinances, maybe you can add that if a data center would happen to go up, I mean, this is where we need to protect ourselves, because I believe also that the ban is too general, and it's post-Hexa. So one of the things you can do is if the poor people down there, their wells dry up and, or they get polluted, that they could check every month or so, and if there's any but those residents have a problem with their, after the completion of this, the data center with Hexa, that they are liable. They need to use their monies to drill wells that these people might need, or fix any pollutants. They need their expense, not us. And any electrical rates, get it off of us taxpayers here. Let them pay for it. They're multi-billion-dollar, anything, you have to put that in your ordinances. I'm trying to draft something up from other places that have done this, and so I wasn't ready for tonight's meeting, but just, you need to put that kind of stuff in place, because it shouldn't come, anything that gets ruined environmentally, health, they need to be put foot in the cost, not us. We don't want them here. If they come in, they need to foot the cost. The second thing I want to say is the greens. Who's the builder of the greens? Is that Paparon?
No.
Hovnavian.
Hovnavian.
Okay, and then who's going to be building up over on, off of Cross Keys? Paparon, right? Or Hovnavian?
I'm not sure who the builder is off of Cross Keys.
I wonder if the same builder.
I'm not
What's the
sure.
other one? But my point, there's a redevelopment plan for these 300 and something houses off of Cross Keys in Williamstown. It's Cross Keys and Fries Mill, or like I said, I didn't want to speak tonight.
No, I think, so there's many different projects that are proposed. There is one off by Fazio Steel.
Yes.
Across from Fazio Steel,
I think so, I'm not really sure.
That's a over 55, and then some single-family homes. I think it's 51 or 52% is over
300
55.
homes.
That is Bruce Paparone Developers. Then there's a project on Cross Keys Road that is
Oh, it's Cross Keys that I'm...
currently being built behind the Sam's Club. They're continuing to build back there. They had the apartments, then there's,
And who is that?
I
My point of this conversation...
it's neither of those. It's neither Hovnanian or Paparone. It's another developer.
My point is, if Hovnavian put in the greens, and the greens are having problems, and they're just dilly-dallying and taking their time, and not, these poor residents for I didn't know anything of this, I just feel bad for, I'm pointing back to the residents, but my thing is there a way that the council can say, or put into action, whatever it is, I'm not legal, to say, look, we're done dealing with you. The residents have done 2.5 years, it's documented, they've things like this. Our own township, whoever it is trying to help them, they're not getting answers promptly, they're making these people wait. So until you fix the existing problems here in Monroe that you've built, we are banning you from building any more in Monroe. You know, because we don't want them building here if they're not going to take care of us. And they're going to laugh at you guys when you're trying to get them to fix it. Like, we need to, I hate that, but we need some gnoingas here, guys, and stand up to these people. How are you going to stand up to Hexa if we can't even stand up to these realtors? Anyway, I think there's something, I don't know what this legality thing is, but they shouldn't, we're building like crazy. We're building all kinds of homes. So Papper and Hovnavian, Ryan, they're salivating at trying to get any land to build because they know they can build. But you know what? Until they start learning and stop taking advantage of its Monroe Township residents, they can't, there's got to be some kind of stop. Anyway, I don't know what that is, but please, I'm looking forward to the next meeting to see what you guys can do for these people and for the rest of the citizens from any more corrupt building going on. And again, I'm looking forward to the ordinance to see what's going on, and I'm hoping to have some extra data for you guys so we can chop them at the knees. So if they build, they're going to have a hard time building here in Monroe. So thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak this evening?
Name's Andrew Will, live here in Williamstown. Mr. Valentine, you answered my question. You weren't here at the last meeting, I apologize, but I kind of put you on the spot of asking why you anonymously voted with the town council to have Hexa come in and build. So you gave me my answer tonight. I don't like putting anybody on the spot when they're not here, but I speak from my heart. I don't take down notes. I don't write out a speech before I come here. I listen to everybody. So I think maybe you trusted them to tell you what was going on with a data center and everything. And I think maybe, then I think, well, maybe, well, listen, I just had major surgery and all. Let me think about it and let me research a little bit and I'll get back to you. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? I just said, when I'm out in town, I listen to people, I ask questions, because you ain't gonna get answers unless you ask questions. Yous are in trouble. Yous are in trouble. People had enough. Not only for the Hexa, the Green Valley or whatever, these, that was.
The Greens, the developer.
The Greens, they're mad, and there was another 55 and over community that was having problems, and they weren't getting any answers. So now you got those people that had enough. And I'd like to thank Mr. O'Reilly. We spoke, he came out about concerns in our neighborhood. Thank you for coming out. We had a good discussion. But like everybody said, we put our trust in you to do the right thing and look out for us. When I worked here, I started seeing land being developed, houses. And I understood, I live in the lakes, Whitehall Gardens was getting cleared out for that. Down on Main Street, the townhouses and all that. And Mr. DeLucia came down to the yard, and I asked him about it. And the first thing I asked him, I said, well, I understand there's 500 homes going up. We don't have the equipment or the manpower to be able to keep up on another 500 homes. And I'd say, I just wanted to know what you're going to do about it. And all he kept saying, it wasn't his fault. It's not my fault. I said, I'm not asking that. I'm asking, what are you going to do about it? And that was the beginning of his administration. And 4 years later, he got pushed out. You pushed him out. Yeah, he did. And then you become mayor. And you are on you are on trial. We have a right to ask questions to get answers. And it's your duty to answer these questions. Because that's why we voted you in here. So now we're stuck. You got people who are going to lose the value of their properties. You're going to have a mass people probably going to have to sell their homes before they lose the value of them homes. And then what are we going to do? What kind of neighborhood is that going to turn into? We have bald eagles. Believe it or not, we have bald eagles, 3 bald eagles. I see them every year. An osprey. I sat on my friend's neighbor's porch and watched this osprey dive down, catch a fish, and come back up out of the water and fly away with it. Where else? You ain't going to see that in Camden or Cherry Hill or anywhere else until you get down into where it's not as populated. So we're going to lose all that. You're going to lose everything east of Malaga Road, you're going to turn it into a nobody's land. That's what you're doing. I can't believe, because I'm listening, what everybody's saying, that you didn't research all this. I hear more solutions from the people in this township than from you guys. Not one of these is saying, getting up and saying, well, you know what, this is what we're going to do, how we're going to fight this. Or we agree, and you know what, we'll check into that, and we'll let you know if we can do that. Nothing like that. So that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. They're going to build it, it's coming. And what you did to these people is a disgrace. You should be ashamed of yourselves. And if you think you're going to get re-voted in, I think, matter of fact, you know what? What are you planning on doing with that $1 million? Where's the $1 million going to go to that you're going to get from that?
Can you please address council?
I am. He's part of town council. He's the mayor. He's running the town.
Okay.
So I can look at him all I want. Or you, or Mr. Valentine. Because we're not getting the answers. We're not getting any answers. We're giving you the answers. So what's the $1 million? What was that going to go to? He's the one that said it. That's why I'm looking at it.
I don't know, yes, sir, I don't know what $1 million you're referring to.
Isn't that some, I heard $1 million. Who said?
$1 million pilot.
So what was going to be that money going to be used for?
Don't know.
There was never a discussion about $1 million pilot.
All right, well then, but from the taxes from that, what were you going to do with it?
Well, taxes would help offset taxes for residents,
I don't-
just like any business.
I hear you. Listen, I don't want to be up here. I don't want to have to put you on the spot. But I'm mad because I got to move. I got to move and get the best price I can get for my house now. Because it is going to happen. It's going to happen. So am I pissed? Yeah. I've been in this town since 1987. I worked here. I worked for companies here. I worked for Harry Cardella Roofing. And now I got to move. You don't, because you're not going to be anywhere near that place. You all live west of Malaga Road. So, yeah, you got a lot of pissed off people, and I listen. When I go shopping at ShopRite, Walmart, and go around town, and I listen. I listen to what people are talking about. And if I get the chance, I ask a question. And then we start a conversation. And a lot of people are not happy. Because they know, even though that's what's going to happen with Cecil, they know their electric's going to go up, the water's going to go up, their sewage is going to go up, and anybody with a well, don't worry about it. We'll just bring in water to you. But now you're going to have to pay for your water if you have a well. So I'm just letting you know what I pay attention to, what I've heard from other residents here, out in public, and a lot of people are pissed. And know what the one thing I hear from everybody? Yeah, and some prominent people here in town too. You are ruining our town. You don't know how many times I've heard that. And you have. You ruined this town. Because we went from 500 homes to how many homes since I left here? It's more equipment you have to buy, more trash trucks, more emergency equipment, because there's more homes. So either way, you're going to end up, you might be getting more tax revenue, but there's more money you're going to have to put out because you're going to need it. Now, you could build the warehouse, and I've been driving trucks for 28 years. But they ain't going to use the toll road. They're not going to use the Atlantic City Expressway. They'll either use Route 40 or 206. They're going northbound. They're going southbound. If you're going westbound, trucking companies do not want you on a toll road. They do not want you on there. They don't want to pay it. They want to keep that money in their pocket. So to travel another maybe 7 more miles to get down on Route 42, they're coming right down the pike, man. They're coming right down the pike. So I hate to, I'm really sad. I'm really sad, man. That anybody had to think about what's going on here and say data center, oh, well, what's all going on with a data center, and research it, and then change the township ordinance for it allow them to do it. So now it's too late, because you know they're coming, man. And I was here when that attorney was here, and he was laughing. And every time somebody said something, he came back, and he shut you down. He was smarter than you guys. So, thank you. Thank you for me losing my home. For the rest of you who are going to have to either stay and put up with it, I'm sorry, man. This is I'm really upset here. And then to listen to you arguing back and forth because it's election year. Well, I just told you, because maybe you should go out to the public and listen to what they're saying. You're done! You're done!
Sir, please don't raise your voice. I understand you're passionate. I appreciate it. I appreciate your passion, but
Yeah, but you...
I appreciate it.
I gotta move. I gotta move. From the house I've been building and fixing up. I'm 67 years old, and now I gotta leave. I gotta leave. And everybody else here, and everybody that's not here, that live east of Malaga Road. And I listened to this man that lives on Jackson Road. He said, it's going to be right in my backyard. What do you say to that guy? What do you say to him? What do you say? You sit up there when somebody gets you on the spot and you all have nothing to say. And you're leaving it up to, I watched the residents here bring in professional people to tell you how bad it is. Why didn't you do that from the beginning? Why didn't you bring professionals and say, what's the impact going to be on this land in our township? All I hear is, oh, it's going to be revenue coming in. Who's that good for? It ain't going to be good for anybody. It ain't enough that you're just building all these homes. You're just eating up all the open space. All the open spaces, every little bit of part of this town, you're developing. And now you want to develop an old farm. Maybe you should have said, no, I wish somebody would farm it. Because we're losing farmland all over this state. I see the warehouses down there off Route 40 and 295. Them farms down there. I talked to a farmer over in Pedricktown. He said, I can't do it no more. I got, regulations. They don't have them like they do down in South America as we do here. But we're losing all these small farmers and fruit stands and people, small businesses. But you destroyed this township. You did. You have no idea what you just did, and I wonder if you care at all, because it's not going to affect you. It'll affect John, Mr. Valentine. He lives there. He trusted you. He was out. He wasn't even here. But you told him it was okay.
Okay, sir, respectfully, your point has been made to council.
Excuse me?
Your point has been made to council, sir. Please address all council.
Maybe I'll come over by your house.
Okay. So,
Or whatever. I'm just like, don't tell me. You had no idea that I had to sell my house. You had no idea what you did to this town and the people.
Sir.
You have no idea. So don't tell me, don't say nothing. I have a right to raise my voice. We listen to these two argue. But this is what you did to these people. Fellow residents, people who worked hard to pay off their homes and have a nice home, and thinking that they're going to be taken care of and no worries, because you're looking out for us. You did none of that. You just looked out for yourselves. Take your campaign money and give it to a good charity, because I'm telling you, people are mad.
Okay,
They're
so,
done.
thank you, yes.
I'm done.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak this evening? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close public portion?
Hi, I'm Mike Malachi, resident here in Township. I'm just curious, have we looked into the possibility of maybe trying to repurchase the land where Hexa Developers wants to build using Green Acres money? I went to, I was out at a movie, I didn't see what happened at the beginning here. But, you know, Washington Township has done this. They did it with the Smith Family Farms.
I can answer this. So,
Different-
like, the
yeah.
Green Acres only allows you to have 2 grants at one time. We have both grants are occupied. Hopefully by the end of this year, we will have one or both of those grants wrapped up. But if you look at the research, you'll see you can only have 2 grants open and with Green Acres, and they're both being used right now.
So it's not a
one is the
possibility.
amphitheater, one is the amphitheater, and one is the Finn's Friends Park.
Got you.
So, but it's definitely, we've talked about opportunities to purchase more space. As you can see, both of them are parks that we're using to be better access to our residents. But it's not a grant that we can apply for now. We didn't apply for a Green Acres grant this year just because you can't have more than 2 at a time.
Got you. It could be something, though, when those Green Acre grants are done, if this is still ongoing, that we could look into it when one of them closes out. Is that a possibility?
We
If
always
this is
look
still
for
running?
grant opportunities through Green Acres. I mean, again, we've gotten just those 2 projects are well over $2 million that we've received in Green Acre grant money from Monroe Township for park projects.
And I know this would just be symbolic, like the things that are happening right now with these, it's not just a Monroe Township issue, it's in every township issue that we see down here in South Jersey. These data centers are going to come down in South Jersey. Like the population density is up in North Jersey. That's where we have a lot of we're lopsided in North Jersey right now in our representation up there. That's where, you know, our governors are elected from, and usually our powerful senators come up from there. But it's down in South Jersey where we don't have as much population and as much voting power down here, and we love our rural areas. We're the areas that are going to get it. You know, us, we see what's going on in Vineland right now. We're going to see what's happening in Salem County and Ocean County, and they're going to come down here. As a council, I know it doesn't mean anything, but it's a symbolic gesture. Can we do like a symbolic resolution to to the governor's office for local assembly people and ask them to do a constitutional amendment to ban data centers in our entire state? I know it doesn't mean anything. I know it's not a, I know it's not a, a law, like an ordinance per se inside of here, but it'll be symbolic. The towns down here will just say, hey, we just don't want them. And to send a message, even a symbolic resolution up to the state and a symbolic resolution to our local assembly people and senator. It's just a thought. But thank you, everybody. I appreciate you listening to me.
Thank you. Okay. Now may I have a motion to close public portion?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.